Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton currently serves as mayor of the City of Tupelo, which is the home of the largest public high school in the state of Mississippi. A product of the Tupelo Public School District, Mr. Shelton graduated from Tupelo High School, went on to the Mississippi State University, and later earned his Juris Doctorate at the University of Mississippi School of Law. Prior to being elected mayor in 2013, he practiced law in downtown Tupelo. A lifelong resident of Tupelo, Mayor Shelton, the son of a public school teacher and the first mayor in the city's history to hold his swearing ceremony in a public school to symbolize the importance of public education to the city of Tupelo.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and privilege for me to be here today to speak about this critical issue facing not only the state of Mississippi, but each of our municipalities. As was stated, the mayor of Tupelo, which is home to the state's largest public high school, and our school district has more than 7,300 students. I simply cannot state strongly enough how important our schools are to our city. And I've repeatedly stated that our schools are the city's most valuable resource. And that includes each and every one of our wonderful school teachers in Tupelo. Over and over again, I've praised the Tupelo Public School District for having the strongest staff of teachers, principals, and administrators that we have ever had. And I firmly believe that the future of our city, the state of Mississippi, and our public schools are all one and the same. Just like tourism, our economic development efforts, our roads and bridges, if we do not make investing in our schools a top priority, then they're going to continue to decline. In Tupelo, we take great pride in economic development. We were recently selected as the #2 micropolitan area in the nation for business and industry development, and have recently seen the addition of over 900 jobs and $78 million in capital improvement. But I'm here today to say that that absolutely would not have been possible if the industry officials did not feel like they would be able to recruit and retain a competent workforce, and that is simply not possible without a strong public school system. Schools play a vital role in promoting economic development. Toyota, for example, spent a great deal of time working with our administrators and touring the public school facilities before deciding to locate in the Tupelo area. The same is true for Grammar, which recently located in Tupelo, and the Yokohama Tire Plant that is located near West Point. These industries represent thousands of jobs in our state and are absolutely critical to our local and state economies, but these companies are not going to choose Mississippi without a strong public school system. If it were not for Tupelo and the other public school districts in our area, we simply would not have Toyota, and that would be a devastating blow to our local economy. When it comes to teachers, the pay raises are not just the right thing to do for them, for the hard work and dedication, but they're the right thing to do for our economy. If we want our city and state's economy to grow, we have to make wise and prudent investments, starting with our teachers. To continue to grow our schools and economy, we have to stop the brain drain and our best and brightest from leaving the state of Mississippi to seek better opportunities elsewhere. As the son of a public school teacher, I know firsthand how hard these men and women work day in and day out to make our schools strong and prepare our children for the future and their next steps of life. For that, we owe them more than just thanks and gratitude. It's time to stop talking about teacher pay raises, and it's time to take action. Since I was a child in the public schools, every time an elected official would come, I would hear the same words that I'm saying now, that we have to do more to recruit and retain people here in the state of Mississippi. But there's simply no way to do that if we don't make the investments that are necessary to keep those teachers here in our state. Pertaining to the lack of funding and the pay cuts, the economic realities we have faced have forced us to make very difficult decisions on both the state and the local levels. Because of the lack of adequate funding, Mississippi Public School District employees have not received a raise in a number of years. Meanwhile, the demands on them to operate more efficiently have increased, and the need to work longer hours with less resources has increased. As was stated in the slide presentation, the Tupelo Public School District has lost over $17 million in the last several years, and Lee County, which is where Tupelo is located, has lost over $40 million over the last several years. That's over $58 million that the Tupelo-Lee County districts have lost that directly have an adverse impact on our public school districts. But it's more than just money. When we talk about it, as the superintendent said, it's more than just losing the $17 million for Tupelo or the $50 million for the county. When we talk about 72 additional teachers in the city of Tupelo, that's not just the teachers, it's their spouses, it's their children, it's their families who would all be contributing members to our community. Most cities, including Tupelo and all around the state, are experiencing a struggling growth in population and a shrinking ad valorem tax base. These jobs, these 72 teachers and their spouses, have a direct impact on the city. The impact, as was stated, is multiplied. When we lose the teachers and the jobs, the cities are losing their basic ability to provide city services for the municipality. I'm very proud to be here today on behalf of the city of Tupelo, Mississippi, to appeal for a meaningful teacher pay raise and adequate funding for the public schools of our state. And Tupelo is, as many know, the birthplace of Elvis Presley. He's our most famous native son, and to borrow some words for him, when it comes to adequate funding of education, it's time for a little less conversation and a lot more action.